Hi guys, this is Sadik from Dotwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest One UI 7 ROM based on Android 15 onto a Galaxy A52s 5G. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone, and then let's get started. First, you'll have to get hold of the latest Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done so in C drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once you've done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. The debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu on your phone, about phone, software information, tap on build number 7 times. You will get a prompt that the mode has been enabled. Now go back, go to developer options, and now enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will get a prompt, tap on OK, and you might get one more prompt, again tap on allow. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools folder, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside the platform tools directory. You could also go to the CMD window from the start menu and then copy the path of platform tools and paste the path here after typing in the cd command. Type in cd space, paste the path, hit enter, and you are now inside the platform tools directory. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB fixes and make sure that you're getting an ID. Once you're getting this ID, your next course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do know that unlocking will wipe off all the data and it will also trip the knocks. And after that, you will not be able to use most of the Samsung secure features. Moreover, once the knocks get tripped, there is no going back. Even if you relock the bootloader, the knocks will stay tripped. So if that's all well and good, then first you have to enable OEM unlocking and USB debugging, which we have done. After that, you have to boot your phone to the download mode and then long press the volume up key to enter the device unlock mode. After that, once again press the volume up key and the bootloader will be unlocked. And then you have to verify the SAM and bypass the vault keeper as well. Okay, for that you will have to first connect your phone to the Wi-Fi. So as of now, I haven't done so. So you could see there is no OEM unlocking option in my case. So to bypass this vault keeper, you have to connect to Wi-Fi and make sure that the OEM unlocking is shown here. So let me show you that as well. As you could see, there is no OEM unlocking shown here. So now I have to connect my phone to the Wi-Fi. This should take just a few seconds. So let me do that as well because this bypassing is very important. So type in the password and let's connect our phone to it. And once that is done, you will have to close the developer option from here. So let's close it from here as well, and now reopen it from the settings menu. So let's do that. Now go here and make sure that the OEM unlocking is shown. As you could see, it's now shown and enabled and gray out. So with this, you have bypassed the vault keeper and we are now good to go ahead. So now you have to install the WP recovery onto your phone. For that, we have made a video as well, but again I'll show you once again how to get this job done. So the first step is done, unlocking is done. Now you have to get hold of the recovery file and the VBMeta patch file. So download both the file and both should be in the .tar format. Once you have got both these files, now get hold of the Odin tool from here and extract them onto your PC. Upon extraction, you will get the following files. Let me show you. The following 4 files you will get, and once you have got the Odin tool, you will now have to boot the phone to the download mode. There are quite a few ways of doing so, including the hardware key combination. Let me show you. You could also use the hardware key combination to get the job done, but the easiest way is to use the ADB command. So simply type in the command ADB reboot download, and your phone should now reboot into the download mode. Once that happens, we are now good to go ahead. So now you could launch the Odin tool and flash the recovery file onto your phone. So launch the Odin exe file. You will get a prompt, hit OK, and now make sure that your phone is shown here under the COM section and in the log as well. If that's all well and good, go to the option tab, uncheck auto reboot. Now click on AP and load the recovery file. So just give me a second. The recovery file is this one, .tar. Load the recovery file here, and in the user data slot, you have to load the VBMeta patch file, which is this one. So in the data slot, we have uploaded the patch VBMeta file, and in the AP slot, we have uploaded the recovery file. And also make sure to uncheck the auto reboot option. Now hit the start button and the recovery will be flashed onto your phone. This will take just a few seconds and the flashing has been done. Now you will have to press and hold the power and the volume down keys for around 7 to 8 seconds, and as soon as the phone is about to undergo a restart, press and hold the power and the volume up keys. So let me show you that. First off, press and hold the power and the volume down keys and keep on holding both the keys until your phone is about to undergo a restart. So let me show you. Keep on holding both the keys, and once that is done, now press and hold the power and the volume up keys, and now keep on holding both these keys until your phone reboots. This might take up to around 4 to 5 seconds, so let's wait for that to happen. And now you will let go of both the keys, and now you have to wait for the phone to boot to the recovery. If you have done everything right, the phone will boot to the WRP recovery, but if you haven't pressed the keys at the right time, your phone might boot to the stock recovery or the stock OS, in which case you will have to flash the recovery once again by the Odin tool. So as you could see, in our case, the recovery has been flashed, and now we could move ahead with the next step. Regarding this, you will first have to do a format data to remove the encryption, but this will also remove all the data from your phone. So make sure you have taken a backup beforehand. Now go to format data, type in yes, hit the blue check mark. The formatting is now complete, and now you have to do a reboot to recovery to remount the data partition. So go to reboot, choose recovery, and your phone will now reboot to the WRP recovery. And after that, we may then start off with the flashing of the ROM zip file. So let's wait for a few seconds. I've given all the steps over here as well. You could refer to my guide and get the job done. So with this, we have flashed the recovery, and our phone is now inside the recovery. So now you have to transfer the files onto your phone. So first off, go to this link and download the system, product, and the ODM. These are somewhat larger in size, as you could see. So once you've got all the three files, you will have to transfer the system file onto your phone, and the product and IMG should be there inside the Platform Tools directory. But for now, transfer all the three files inside the Platform Tools. The system, the product, and the ODM should all be there inside the Platform Tools folder. And now you have to transfer the system file onto your phone. Only this file should be transferred. So let me see if my phone is shown here or not. So my phone is shown here, but I cannot access the storage. Well, it's not a cause of concern. Simply open the CMD window and type in the command adb push file name, which is system.img space / SD card. The file will now be transferred. Always keep in mind that you should never use the ADB sideload method, because the sideloading is used for USB recovery like Lineage OS and C Android. In case of Orange Fox and WRP, you should always use the install option, the USB mount, the ADB push, or the OTG if you have. But please don't use the ADB sideload method. So with that said, the file is now being transferred, and you only have to transfer the system file. You don't have to transfer the ODM and the product file. I'll show you why as well, but let's first wait for the file to be transferred. So guys, if you're also getting this error message that failed to copy, then it's quite normal. Simply do a reboot to the system. Your phone will boot to the OS, and after that, you will once again have to reboot the phone to the recovery, and then you will not get this error message. So let's wait for the phone to boot to the OS. Since we have done a format data, the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So wait for the phone to boot to the OS, and then we will once again boot to the recovery, and then we will be able to do the ADB push without any issue whatsoever. So let me now set up my phone. This will take just a couple of minutes, and after that we could reboot the phone to the recovery and then transfer the system IMG file, and we will not face any issue that time around. So let me skip this as well, skip this, and hit the next button, and this will take just a few more seconds. Accept the terms and condition. We will I am skipping everything because we again have to do a format of the phone after flashing the ROM, so there is no need to set up the phone. We just have to reboot to the recovery. So let's first finish the boot up, and you will once again have to enable USB debugging on your phone. So go to the settings menu, and from there you might get the job done. Settings menu, go to software information, about phone, software information, tap on build number 7 times, then go back, go to developer options, and now enable the toggle next to USB debugging. From here type on OK. You might get one more prompt, again tap on allow, and debugging is now enabled. So now type in ADB reboot recovery, and your phone should now reboot to the WRP recovery. Since we have just done a format data, the WRP recovery will still be there on your phone. It has not gone anywhere. Let me show you that as well, because we haven't flashed the stock firmware. We have just done a format data which will not remove the recovery from your phone. So with this command, you should now be inside the recovery, and then we will once again be able to transfer the file onto our phone and then flash it as well. So wait for a few more seconds, and then we'll first verify if we could access the storage from the PC. If you're not able to do so, then you'll again have to use the ADB push command to get this job done. So let's see what happened this time around, and our phone is now inside the recovery in a few more seconds. And as you could see, we are now inside the recovery, and now so this time around I could easily access the storage. So I could simply use the copy paste. There is no need for the adb push command. Simply copy the system file from here by Control C and paste the file over here. This will save us some time as well. There is no need to do the adb push command anything as such. We could now easily access the storage and do the transfer, and this might take up to around a couple of minutes, so let's wait for that to happen. So guys, the file has now been transferred, so let's flash it onto our phone. For that, go to the install section, tap on install image, choose the system img file, choose the system partition and swipe to flash. The file will now be flashed in around a couple of minutes at the very max, so let's wait for that to happen. So guys, the system file has now been flashed onto our phone, and now we have to flash the rest of the two files, which are the product and the ODM files. But we cannot flash these files via the recovery, because if you try to do so, then you will get the following error message. Let me show you. The size of an image is larger than the target device, so you cannot flash the product and ODM via recovery. You will have to flash them via the fastboot command, but it's quite obvious that the fastboot mode is not there on Samsung phone, so we will have to take the help of the fastboot D mode to flash these files. So for that, go back, reboot and choose fastboot, and your phone should not reboot to the fastboot D mode, since we have a recovery installed, so the recovery will take over the fastboot D screen. That is not a cause of concern, because we are inside the fastboot D. It's just that the UI is shown from the recovery, so that is not a major concern. And let's wait for the phone to boot to the fastboot D mode, and after that you will flash the product and the DTBO files. Just give it a few more seconds, and then you will flash those files. And as you could see, we are now inside the fastboot D mode. Fastboot D mode is known as fastboot, whereas the fastboot mode is known as a bootloader mode. Always keep this in mind. So the fastboot stands for the fastboot D mode. And now we could flash the files. First, so flash the product file in the product partition. So you may copy paste the command from my guide, and it will now flash the product file. It has smaller 5 product partition. Each of the files will now be flashed onto your phone in around a minute at the very max. So let's wait for that to happen. Okay, one more thing. You might ask that why we are not facing the issue now of the issue. If we flash the same file by the recovery, we are getting the size of the image is larger than the target device. So why it's happening in the recovery but not via the fastboot command? Where in case of fastboot, you could see it's automatically doing a resize of the partition as well, of the file as well, and that is why we are not facing this issue. In case of TWRP, the resizing did not happen and we faced that issue, but over here the file has been resized and we are not facing that issue any longer. Anyways, the product file has now been flashed, and now you have to flash the ODM file as well in the DTBO file in the DTBO partition. So let's copy paste the command and flash the DTBO file. Okay, just give me a second. It's the ODM file. I will rectify the command as well. Moving on, you will now have to flash the ODM file in the ODM partition. So just give me a second. Fastboot flash odm.img and hit enter, and the ODM file will now be flashed. Please ignore this. It's nothing. It's just an issue from my end. You could simply skip that, ignore that, and the ODM has been flashed. So once you have flashed both the product and the ODM files, you now have to do a format data. So type in fastboot space -w, hit enter, and the formatting is now complete. But this is just half the formatting. We will also have to do a format from the recovery. So for that, type in fastboot reboot recovery and see if your phone boots to the TWRP recovery or not. Let's verify the same. If it boots, well and good. If it does not boot, we have one more way out. But first, let me show you if it's boot or not. If it is booting to the recovery, then we could directly do the formatting from there itself. Just give me a few more seconds and I'll verify that as well, whether it's happening or not. And we are now booting from the fastboot D into the TWRP recovery mode. So as you could see, we are now inside the recovery, and now you will again have to do a format data from the wipe section. So go to wipe format data, type in yes, and hit the blue check mark. The formatting should now be done in a few seconds. These error messages are completely normal and nothing to worry about. Once you have done the formatting, just tap on reboot system and your phone will now boot to the OS. So as you could see, we are now inside the OS, and the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about, because we are booting to the new OS. And let's wait for a few more seconds. So guys, one more thing, you will get this error message which is completely normal. Just tap on OK and your phone should now boot to the OS, the setup screen, and we could now set up the ROM file. So tap on start, and you may connect your SIM card and connect the Wi-Fi, but I'm skipping all of that stuff. Agree to all, Agree. Then after that, let's move ahead with the next step. Set up manually. If you want, you may restore all the data connecting your phone to the Wi-Fi, but I'm skipping all of that stuff just to speed up the process of restoring the ROM file. So let me skip this as well. Accept the terms and condition, and you might see some of the changes in the UI as well. This is thanks to the One UI 7. Next, this as well. Please wait for a few seconds, and we will set up this file as well. Smart tutor, and we are all set up. Tap on the home, agree, and we are now inside the One UI 7 based on Android 15. These are the apps. First off, let me show you the from the left hand side. See, as you could see from the top right corner, you will get the QS panel, but from the left or any other side, you will get the notification panel. So let me show you that as well. From the QS, this is the QS tile from the right hand side, and from any other side, you will just get the notification panels, as you could see. So they are not separated and not combined. Some of you might like the chain, whereas some of you might not like it, but this is how things stand as of now. So let's now access the settings menu from here, and first off, let's go to about phone and software information, and you could see it's the latest One UI 7 version based on Android 15 from here. And let me now close this as well. Let's go back, and from here you may have a look at all the latest tweaks. For example, the Galaxy AI, this requires a Wi-Fi connection, but you could see from here it's in the call assist, the writing assist, Samsung Notes, voice recorder, internet as well, and now brief. So you could try out the AI in all these apps now. So for that you need a Wi-Fi. And next up, what other tweaks we have in the display? It's the same. I cannot see anything new as such. Then under battery, what all we have to offer: the power saving, battery protections, change battery information, charging settings, human tweak, all of them from here. Wallpaper and style. So by default it has only one wallpaper, I suppose. Featured Galaxy. Okay, so here are some of the other wallpapers for the graphical colors, wallpaper service, dynamic lock screen, glance on Samsung. So these are the various dynamic wallpapers that you could set up on your phone, which requires a Wi-Fi for the first time usage. Glance on Samsung, you could also use them by default. Under graphical, these 6 wallpapers are there. Under colors, you also have these wallpapers. And apart from that, the color palette, you may change the theming from here. It's based on the Material UI theming engine. The dominant color of the wallpaper will be applied across the entire UI and UX of the OS. You may also change and choose a color from here as well. Let's choose this blue color. It's look quite nice over this OS, and the theming has been changed. Then under home screen, you could increase the icon size in both the app screen and the lock screen. Then home screen grid, by default is the 4x6. You may also choose 5x6, but that's just about it. Let's choose that only in the app screen grid. So you may choose up to 5x6, and again I will go with this one only. Folder size, let's skip that. And app icon badges, it's handy. Then apart from that, in the themes, let's see what. So again, you will have to go online and get hold of the required themes, wallpapers, icons, and always on display themes. By default there's only one AOD and icon themes. For the rest of the stuff, you will have to go online and download the themes from the Samsung store. And then in the accounts and backups, advanced features, these are the same features in the advanced that you get on One UI 6 as well. Under labs, let's see, multi-window for all the apps. Then general management, then about phone, software update, remote management. So apart from that, let's see what all other things it has to offer. Just give me a second. So lock screen and AOD, and over there you could get the option of now bar, and you will get that bar at the bottom of your screen. And in this you will get the update from all the sports. It's using the sports from Google, so it's quite a handy feature. And as of now, it's only sport from Google. You could see that at the bottom, and at the top you will get all the notifications from the latest sport updates, and I usually like to keep it enabled. And that's just about it. It will keep on adding new features as and when there is an update live for the app. And moreover, if we have a look at the information, you could see that it's using the Android patch level of 1st Feb, which is quite latest as well. And the latest Android 15 build based on One UI 7 is running live on our phone. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, Do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.